Hello Pokemon trainers! Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Battle Stadium singles video here on iStarly TV, part of my Road to Master series where I try to climb the online Battle Stadium singles ladder. And we're about halfway through the season. Usually they end with each month. And I'm assuming the next, I haven't checked, but I probably should know this. I'm assuming the next month will start with the same exact rule set. So December will be the same rule set, and then maybe January is when we'll get the kind of new Pokemon and the old Pokemon returning in the DLC, because the DLC is coming on December 14th, I think. So it'll be in the middle of the month. But anyways, let's get to this team. We have a new team today, as you can see. And I wanted to try out some new Pokemon, so I've been building some teams. I have a couple lined up that I'll be showing off this week with some new Pokemon, some different Pokemon that we're not totally used to in the ranked ladder, because I am Master Ball tier now, so I can kind of, play whatever I want, I guess. Anyway, I guess I meant play whatever I want without like fear of dropping my rank. I mean, I guess I will. Anyway, we got Mienshao. I'm using Mienshao here, and I don't know, it just seemed like an interesting Pokemon to try out. I was kind of just looking at the list of Pokemon that returned in the DLC, and Mienshao stood out to me. It's never been a particularly amazing Pokemon, but it does have a few benefits to its kit that not a lot of Pokemon have. So, I mean, it does have a few things that set it apart from, Pokemon that would otherwise outclass it. Like, the biggest one is probably Urshifu, because Urshifu's probably the most prominent fighting type in the meta, and it's really good. And honestly, Urshifu's better than Mienshao in almost every way, but again, Mienshao has a couple of key things that help it. So, first of all, it has Regenerator, and with a Life Orb, you can kind of do extra damage and then kind of like switch out later on in the battle and get some health back, so that later on when you come back in, you're a little more healthy. So I found that sometimes what happens is like I can like fake out something to get off some damage and then go for like U-turn or even close combat to get off a lot of damage, and then I switch out, and if I U-turn there, I've only taken like 20% of my health from the Life Orb, so the next time I come back in, I'll be back at full health. So it's pretty cool. Again, I'm not saying Mienshao is like one of the best Pokemon in the meta, but I wanted to try it out, and it seems okay against the current meta. Obviously it's a fighting type, and there are a couple of notable ice types in the meta, so that really helps. On the other hand, there are some good ghost types and fairy types, so we don't want to encounter those, but hopefully I've balanced the team enough to where, Mienshao can show off its power. Then we have Munkidori with Choice Scarf. I've used this before. I just thought it complemented Mienshao decently, and it's fast with the Choice Scarf, and then with its Toxic Chain ability, it has the potential to poison things. Then I have my Ogerpon build that I've been using, which is pretty bulky. It has max attack with Adamant Nature, and then it has just enough speed so that it outspeeds fast Pokemon like Fluttermane after a Trailblaze. So my thought process with that is I switch an Ogerpon against something, and then predict a switch, because Ogerpon can force a lot of switches, and then go for Trailblaze on the switch, and then I'm faster than most everything after that. Then we have Corviknight, which is actually a build that I'm borrowing from. If you saw my last video, I was using a team from someone on the Smogon forums. I think their name was El Otto or a Crayfish. Like, their username was different, but anyway, yeah, shout out to them because they had an awesome team. So definitely check that video out if you haven't, where they had Crawdaunt and Hisui and Decidueye and Fezandipiti on their team, and it was a good team. And they actually commented on the video. They were able to see that I featured their team. So shout out to them. And I'm using this Corviknight build that they had, which is pretty bulky, and it has bulk up, and instead of iron defense. And so bulk up boosts my attack and defense, which makes body press and iron head do more damage. And I'm running Terra Dragon, which is also from that team, and it's not a very common Terra type, but it helps against fire types, notably Ogerpon, and in some cases something like Urshifu as well, with the Covert Cloak as well, which can be pretty useful. Then we have Roaring Moon. This is a slightly different set than I've run in the past. It's 4 attacks. This Roaring Moon is mainly focused on just doing a ton of damage. So it's an Adamant Nature with Booster Energy. It goes into battle and it gets a massive attack boost. It has a super massive attack stat, and it can get some kills. Knockoff hits really hard. We've got Terra Steel with Iron Head, which hits really hard, and then Earthquake, and then we have Acrobatics as the last move, which is kind of a weird one. I'm just using it because flying is a pretty solid offensive type these days, and it has pretty good coverage, so I'm going to try that out. I know in the past people have used Terra Flying Roaring Moon with acrobatics, and I did consider it, but I just like the defensive potential of Steel because, you know, we're weak to Fairy, we're super weak to Fairy, and we're weak to Dragon and stuff, so Terra Steel helps in those cases. Finally, we have Gliscor, which is, you know, pretty standard Gliscor. I haven't really used it that much in my previous videos, but we're going to show it off here, and hopefully it'll do some work for us. It is a very annoying Pokemon. If you've seen my videos, you know that I kind of hate it. So anyways, that is the cool team we've got. There's the team code if you want to try it out, and let's see if we can get some Mienshao action going. And we have our first battle against a really interesting team. My opponent has Mimikyu, which is the first thing I noticed, but they also have Jolteon and Empoleon. Now, Empoleon's a pretty decent Pokemon, actually. It's like a solid lead, to be honest, but Jolteon's definitely something you really don't ever see. And even though it's outclassed by a lot of things, it's kind of scary. Like, it's really fast, and it has decent... I mean, its coverage is not great, but anyways, it's a decent offensive threat is what I'm getting at. So Mienshao actually looks okay here, but I also want to point out that they have the Ninetales, which is probably going to be their most likely lead. And I think they would expect me to lead with Mienshao, so they would probably want to bring Ninetales. I don't know if they would lead with Empoleon. Like, Empoleon's an annoying lead, but I don't think they would bring it because I have the threat of leading with Mienshao. I think Ogerpon's a decent lead here. Like, it's bulky enough that it can take hits from Jolteon. It has Play Rough for the Dragonite if it comes to that. And even if they lead Empoleon, I can get off some decent damage with Ivy Cudgel because it'll be neutral. So I think Ogerpon's a pretty solid lead overall. And then from there, I definitely do want to bring one of my bulky Pokemon, either Corviknight or Gliscor. And it might just be Gliscor. Oh, I'm running out of time, actually. Okay, and then my last Pokemon, I think I'm just going to bring Munkidori. I did want to show off Mienshao, but this does not look like a great team to show off Mienshao because they have Mimikyu, so Mimikyu's immune to Fake Out, and it doesn't really take much damage from any of my moves. Dragonite's also a rough Pokemon for Mienshao to face, so... oh, I love their trainer card, by the way, but yeah, this team did not look like a good Mienshao showcase. So let's see what they lead with. Like I said, I think Ogerpon's a decent lead against everything they have. They do end up leading with Mimikyu, so that's okay with me, because like I said, I do have some HP investment. They actually fling. It's probably going to paralyze me. Yeah, it's flinging Light Ball, so that's going to paralyze me. I went for the Trailblaze here just to break the disguise and get a speed boost. Obviously, the speed boost is not going to matter anymore because now I'm paralyzed, but luckily I do hit the Trailblaze. And what? What? Wait. Oh, Mold Breaker. Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot about Mold Breaker, everyone. Dang, okay. Yeah, that was really kind of embarrassing. Wow, and then I get fully paralyzed. Oh my god, that's annoying. Alright, so this battle's off to a really weird start. I did completely forget about Mold Breaker. I'm gonna click Horn Leech just in case they switch. Alright, and we get the knockout, but we are paralyzed and cursed. I actually think that's an okay exchange because, I mean, whatever they go into will probably knock me out, but we got their Mimikyu, which I think is decent. They go into their own Ogerpon. I think I'm just gonna click Cudgel here. They might set up or something. They do Swords Dance. Okay, this should do decent damage though. It'll do neutral damage. Let's see. Yeah, that does a good amount of damage. I'm fine with that. And they have to attack me. They can't substitute. I mean, I guess no, they can't. Okay, that's 4 times resisted. That was actually a huge risk on their part because I 4 times resisted. I mean, I guess they're at +2, but there was a chance, like, if I had more health, I possibly could have... Like, if I had been smarter with the Mold Breaker, then things could have gone very differently here. I think I have to go into Gliscor now. Now, the question is whether I Terrastalize or not. Because if I expect them to go for Ivy Cudgel, I can go Terra Water. However, they could just go Horn Leech, which I actually think is a little more likely. So I could Protect here, and I know I've said it before that not protecting with Gliscor is usually a bad play. I'm gonna click Earthquake. Oh, this might be really bad. Okay, it actually really helps that I did not. I get a critical hit, but it really helps that I did not go for the terrestrialization there. So that was a good play on my part. Luckily for them, though, they get a crit, which is really annoying. I think... Well, now I'm gonna protect. They might predict this, though. They're gonna predict this, aren't they? Oh, they don't. Okay. I mean, I think I survive a Horn Leech because, again, that first Horn Leech was a crit, which is why it did so much damage. It does not look like that much recovery. I was expecting a little more. All right. Well, if I can get a knockout here, which is not guaranteed. Oh, they go Cudgel now. Okay. Maybe I should have expected this. Is that a crit too? No, it's not. Okay, well... Munkidori gets the knockout on this for sure, but then the question is, because I'm Choice Scarf, what do I go for here? Because I need to have... If their last Pokemon's Dragonite, it's over. If their last Pokemon's Empoleon, it's probably over as well, because I don't think Shadow Ball kills. I think I just... If I go Shadow Ball and their last Pokemon is... Yeah, I'm clicking Sludge Wave. Yeah, I'm clicking Sludge Wave. It would definitely suck if their last Pokemon's Dragonite. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be the case here, but, you know, Shadow Ball would definitely kill Ogerpon here, but then if they go into Dragonite and then, like, Terrastalize, that could be a real problem. They do have Dragonite, but I did go for Sludge Wave, so I don't think... Actually, Terrastalizing does help here because they could go Earthquake here, so I'm going to Terrastalize. The biggest problem, obviously, is Multiscale, so I don't think I'm going to win this battle because they have Multiscale, so Sludge Wave is not going to do that much damage. I might poison them, but if they just go, like, Earthquake here, it's going to do... It's still going to do a lot of damage. It honestly might even one-hit KO me, even though I don't resist... Or even though I'm not weak to it anymore. Watch them be Terra Steel. They probably know that I'm Choice Scarf because they are Terra Steel. Wow. It's just another one of those things, another one of those times where you just happen to get locked into the move and they go for they have the one Terra type. Out of 18 Terra types, they have the one Terra type yeah, whatever. Okay, that's game. All right, well, that was not a good one at all. I'm trying to think if things would have gone differently. So they got a critical hit with Ogerpon. That mattered for sure because if the final matchup was Gliscor versus Dragonite, I can win that for sure. Maybe not for sure, but that would help me a lot. So if I had... I mean, I should have been smarter with the Ivy Cudgel. If I had gone Cudgel first... If I had been aware of the Mold Breaker on Disguise, I could have gone Ivy Cudgel and then maybe even knocked them out on the first turn. And then when they go into their Ogerpon, I still would have been paralyzed, I think. And I don't know. Either way, given that their last Pokemon was Dragonite, I don't think it really mattered what Terra type their Dragonite was. Like, yeah, of course, they had the 1 in 18 chance of having the perfect Terra type against my Choice Scarf Poison Pokemon. But even if they didn't have Terra Poison, I probably still lose, like I was saying, because of Multiscale. So either way, that was a rough one, game 1, but let's hope the next one's better. Okay. All right, well, this looks like a good showcase for Mienshao. Mienshao is actually pretty solid against everything here. It's super effective against a few of them. I guess Ceruledge is a problem, so I actually don't know if I want to lead with Mienshao because of that possible Ceruledge. But the question then is, what do I lead with? I wonder if Munkidori is an interesting lead here. I don't know. Yeah, they have a lot of bulk on their team. I don't think I love bringing Munkidori here. I think I like Roaring Moon just because, again, their team is very bulky, so I want to get off as much damage as possible against stuff. And then I think Gliscor also looks okay. Gliscor would be good against Ceruledge. I'm going to lead Gliscor, and then with my luck, they're going to lead Rotom. Do they lead Rotom? Okay, what if I lead Mienshao and they lead Ceruledge? I think I can just click knockoff. The problem is, I didn't talk about this, but I'm actually like bulky. I have a lot of HP and then just enough speed to outspeed like Dragonite, which I don't know if that really matters. I guess I do lead Mienshao here. If they lead Ceruledge, there's a chance I survive a Bitter Blade, but we're gonna have to see. Terra Water on Gliscor could also be really good in this matchup. However, I do need to be worried about that Rotom. That Rotom is going to be scary for Gliscor. It's really funny because Rotom, you know, I'm immune to electric as Gliscor, but then I'm weak to water. And then if I Terrasilize, then it's the opposite. I'm weak to electric and I resist water. So it's going to be a mind game if they do have their Rotom. But if they lead with it, they don't. Okay. This is fine, actually. I'm going to just start with that Fake Out. And I could just close combat. That's another option. Just close combat. They have a ghost type, obviously, that they could go into. Do I close combat? No, I'll Fake Out just in case they Terrasilize. They do switch. It's probably going to be their ghost type. They might not expect the knockoff. It is Ceruledge. Okay. Let me see what I got here again. I think Terrastalizing Gliscor is going to be fine. If I Terrastalize Gliscor against Baxcalibur, that's fine. That's like pretty good. So I'm just going to go ahead and knock off here. I was just kind of thinking like what I should do here. They go close combat though. And I do survive that. So that works out pretty well for me. And that means I'm probably going to get the knockout here with the knock off unless they have Focus Sash, which they don't. Perfect. Okay. So that's a good trade for me, 1-for-1. And then this is the beauty of Mienshao. If I'm able to switch it out here, it's Choice Scarf. If I'm able to switch it out here safely, when I come back in later, I will have more health. Although, you know, I'm probably not surviving too many hits at that point, but, you know, it's the principle of it, I guess you could say. They go into Baxcalibur. I'm going to just click close combat now. If they Dragon Dance, they're dead. Okay, they have that. I guess that's not surprising. But the funny thing is, it's good that I stayed in here, even though I didn't really think about the Ice Shard. It ends up being really good that I stayed in there because had I switched into either of these Pokemon, I would have taken a lot of damage from Ice Shard, so it ends up being good. Just going to go into Gliscor here, and now I'm just going to go ahead and protect. The question is whether I Terrasilize. I am admittedly worried of them potentially predicting this and going for the Dragon Dance, but I think I just kind of need to do this. I am max HP and max defense. They do Icicle Spear. I did not Terrasilize, so this is actually kind of good for me because it means that now I can Terrasilize. The reason I didn't Terrasilize was because just to see what they do, and it kind of gives them another turn of like not knowing exactly what I'm doing, I guess you could say, if that makes any sense at all. And so now I can finally go for it, and they're probably just going to go for Icicle Spear again because since I didn't Terrasilize the first turn, they might not be expecting it, so... I do think Terra Water is the most common Terra type on Gliscor. It makes a lot of sense, right? Because Gliscor is weak to water and it's 4 times weak to ice. And so removing those weaknesses and turning them into resistances is pretty huge. So yeah, this Ice Shard is doing, or I'm sorry, Icicle Spear is doing nothing. It looks like they do have the loaded dice, which is a little surprising because typically you don't see Ice Shard on loaded dice, Baxcaliburs. And I went for Toxic here. This is also really good for me. And I think Toxic was a great choice on my part because they didn't really have too many Pokemon that can switch into it. Like if they switched into Rotom, poisoning that is great for me. Now the biggest problem is going to be their Garganacl if they have it. If they don't have Garganacl though, I actually feel really confident about the rest of this battle. I'm just going to click Earthquake now just in case they do go into Garganacl. It is possible they go into Rotom, but they actually just stay in and go for Earthquake on me, which I am fine with because I take that pretty well. And now, you know, this is what Gliscor does. This is why Gliscor is so annoying. I could protect here. I'm just worried that they're going to switch. I know I shouldn't be, but I'll just go ahead and substitute now. I can protect after I'm behind a sub, because that'll put me in a great position. If I get behind a sub and their last Pokemon is like Rotom or even Ursaluna, like, I think we're just going to win. Okay, they do switch, so we'll see what they go into. And we did go sub, so that's great for us, because that was pretty proactive. They do have the Garganacl. That is definitely annoying. Another thing about Gliscor with Terra Water, the funny thing is, I'm a water type now, so that means I am going to take extra damage from the Salt Cure. And I cannot poison them, so this actually could be a really rough situation. If they start setting up Iron Defense, I could lose, honestly. So I think what I have to do, they do go Salt Cure. Okay, I'm gonna Earthquake. I want to get in Roaring Moon at some point, but I also don't want to have Roaring Moon take Salt Cure. So I go Earthquake here. If they Iron Defense, that's going to be rough. I guess it depends on how much damage this does. Oh, it does pretty respectable damage. But if they do go for the... they're probably going to Salt Cure again here. I was going to say if they do go for the Iron Defense, then that's really bad. They have leftovers. I do have the knockoff on Roaring Moon. I think at this point, as long as I have Gliscor, I'm not going to lose against the Baxcalibur. Wow, that didn't even break my sub. Okay, I'm just gonna spam Earthquake then. Okay, cool. I'll take that. I'll absolutely take that. I was actually really scared that they were gonna start setting up Iron Defenses, and honestly, that might not be the worst thing for them to do. And they hadn't terastallized yet, right? I don't know. I feel like that battle could have gone really badly for me, but at the same time, it's funny because I also felt like I was like in the driver's seat, like I had a lot going for me. So I don't know. It was an interesting one, and we got to show off Mienshao, which I like. So let's go to game 3. Game number 3. My opponent's team is pretty solid looking. Mienshao looks good once again, so I do think I'll bring it, although the biggest problem is Fluttermane. I think Fluttermane's like the biggest problem against Mienshao. And if I'm being honest, my team is not amazing against Fluttermane. I wonder if I lead Ogerpon, actually. I know this seems weird, but... I want to lead Ogerpon, and then I kind of want to bring Corviknight, but then Urshifu is a big problem for me. Corviknight is also really good against Ursaluna, Blood Moon Ursaluna, where Gliscor is not so much, because it's a good special attacker. The thing about Corviknight, though, is even though Corviknight doesn't have amazing special defense, it resists or is immune to most, if not all, of Ursaluna's moves. So I do think I'll bring it, but like I said, Urshifu's a big problem. Do I just lead with Mienshao like I said? If I lead Mienshao and they lead Fluttermane, that's actually not good. I mean, obviously. I think I like this setup though. I'm gonna bring it. They're gonna lead Fluttermane, aren't they? I just feel like, okay, I lead Mienshao, they're gonna lead Fluttermane. If I expect that and I lead with like Ogerpon, they're gonna lead with the worst thing. They're gonna lead with Urshifu, so there's no winning here. But we'll see. I guess if, well no, I don't think I like the matchup of Ogerpon versus Urshifu. Maybe I would scare them out because I'm a grass type and I'm faster naturally. They lead Urshifu, which I actually like. I never thought I'd say that, but I like that. Actually, I mean, I can get off a fake out here, but beyond that, what am I doing? Yeah, my team's actually pretty weak to Urshifu, and my opponent might have noticed that. I'm gonna click fake out here. There's no reason not to. And I actually can foresee a world where I get destroyed by Urshifu. I actually don't want to switch anything into a Surging Strikes. Huh. Maybe I should have I thought about terastallizing there to get off more damage because I am Terra Normal. Okay. I don't think there's any way I live Surging Strike. If there's a miracle, if miraculously I'm faster than them, that's pretty good. But yeah, I should have thought about this. Yeah, I think it's gonna be Corviknight. It's gonna have to be Corviknight. So click close combat, see if a miracle happens. It's not happening. Yeah, look at that. That's easily gonna kill me. Sorry to see Mienshao go so early, but like I said, I did not have a good switch into Surging Strikes, and I would rather, as sad as it is, because I like Mienshao, I would rather have Mienshao faint here than have any of my other Pokemon take more damage, because they're more likely to do something in this battle. So I could go into Corviknight and Terastallize so I resist Surging Strikes, and then go for Body Press, which is, it kind of feels bad. I could go into Ogerpon, maybe survive a Surging Strike, but barely, and then go for like Horn Leech. Huh. The thing is, if I think I actually have to do that. Do I survive a Surging Strike? I should know that. I should be calcing this. I don't have a calc open, but in the future, I need to start having that ready. But like I said, I might just scare them out because I am naturally faster. My Ogerpon is not calced. Actually, is it? No, it's not. My Ogerpon is not calced to outspeed Urshifu's, but I'm gonna click Horn Leech here. I might just, like I said, I might just scare them out because they see, yeah, I do. Okay, cool. So that actually helps because I didn't want to Terrasilize Bramaluna. I didn't want to Terrasilize Corviknight so early because, oh, they have booster energy. Oh, this is gonna be scary. Oh, they're gonna be Terra flying. Oh, its speed was high. I mean, they could still be Terra flying, but I didn't want to Terrasilize Corviknight so early because if they have Flutter Mane in the back, then I probably lose because then I'm weak to Fairy at that point. I'm gonna switch now, and if they go Dragon Dance, I mean, it's GG. My opponent has like just so many pressure points that they're attacking me from, and my team is admittedly fun, but not very good. Not good enough to kind of keep up with all that, but again, I'm liking this. We'll see what happens here. Go Corviknight. Typically, Roaring Moon doesn't have too many moves to destroy Corviknight. I just hope they don't go Dragon Dance. I hope they just go Terra Flying into Acrobatics, and then I can set up like a Bulk Up, maybe? They could possibly have a fire move. They are Terra Flying, okay. This is still gonna do probably some decent damage, maybe. My hope is that they have like Acrobatics, Earthquake. I think typically Roaring Moon has Earthquake. The problem is that, I take that really well. The problem is what are their last two moves? And this is a situation where I really wish I had like leftovers because getting that residual recovery would help so much. They go Knockoff. I'm not surprised by this. And they do knock off the Covert Cloak, but at this point, now I get a +1 defense, and I can roost off the damage, and if they go into Urshifu, they U-turn, okay. That does 0 damage. I mean, it did like 10. It did like 9, I think. Anyway, I think they're gonna go back into Urshifu. Well, they might reveal who their last Pokemon is. They used up their Roaring Moon's booster energy. Oh, it's Goldango. They're probably gonna trick. So now I know their whole team. I'm gonna switch. They might go Shadow Ball, which I would not like. This is just a rough situation all around. But if they're not Choice Scarf, then I threaten them with the Cudgel. At this point now, I know that if I want to, at some point I can safely Terrasilize Corviknight because they don't have... They go Thunderbolt. Interesting. I guess they figured I wouldn't switch. They figured I wouldn't want to waste the move. Okay, now the question is, do I Terrasilize here and get the attack boost? Or is it obvious they switch into Urshifu? If I Terrasilize and they either stay in or go into Roaring Moon for some reason, or do I Trailblaze? Oh, God. I kind of feel like Goldango's not that much of a threat. So I'm gonna Trailblaze here. Oh, this is gonna be stupid. Okay, this is actually good though, because now I get the speed boost, so now I will be faster than either of their Pokemon. They go into this. I'm really surprised. I mean, I guess they were expecting the fire move, but yeah, this is actually a huge turnaround for me. The funny thing is now I do not click Terrasilize because if they go Aqua Jet, I'm going to be weak to it. So unless they're Choice Scarf, they could still be Choice Scarf and I could still lose here, but I'm going to click Horn Leech now. They are faster. Oh, they are Choice Scarf. Okay. Huh. Do I live this? I don't think I do. I think actually maybe I do. Barely. Oh, I barely do. Oh, that's great. Wait, I think I win now. Because my Ogerpon is faster than everything on their team now, and neither of them have priority, so... And Fire Ivy Cudgel is super effective against Goldango, and Roaring Moon takes neutral damage from it, which means it takes a lot of damage. So yeah, this is actually great. Bramaluna. That name just sounds so cool and so interesting that's why I always keep saying it. Okay, now, it's not over yet, though. No, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I don't think... Yeah. I think I knocked them out. I mean, Roaring Moon has pretty low defense. Its special defense is good, but its defense is actually not fantastic. I am faster. I should be faster than them. I am adamant, max attack. This is going to give me an attack boost. So this should do a ton of damage. There's also a high chance of crit. I think like 20% chance for this move to crit. So I have a lot of things adding up in my favor. And I guess worst case scenario, yeah, I guess that's a clean knockout. I was gonna say worst case scenario, if I don't knock them out and they knock me out, I do get to go into Corviknight there. And obviously we know that Roaring Moon just kind of can't do anything to Corviknight. However, the problem then would be that they would go into this. But I think this is gonna be game. Okay, let's think about this. Because I was at +1 speed, I calced my Ogerpon so that after a Trailblaze, it is faster than Flutter Mane. So with that in mind, I should be faster than this because, sorry, I'm just like thinking of so many things at once. Perfect. I was gonna say because their Urshifu outsped me, which means that was Choice Scarf, which means this thing is not Choice Scarfed. Although I guess like if they were Choice Scarfed, they would have to go for like Shadow Ball. I don't know. Either way, we ended up winning that battle. That was a good battle actually, because it looked like things were going really badly for us and we were able to turn it around. So yeah, I still think this team was good. And I really do like Mienshao. Like I said, the thing about Mienshao is it's good against like a certain portion of the meta, and then it's like pretty bad against another portion of the meta. And so it kind of ends up being the case where it's like in certain situations, if you bring it and you predict correctly, it can actually be really strong and do a lot of work. But if you predict incorrectly, it can go horribly wrong for you because its speed is okay. Like it's 105, which does outspeed Urshifu. So if you wanted to go max attack and max speed with a Jolly nature, you could do that, or just like have just enough speed to outspeed Goldango. Or I'm sorry, Urshifu, I don't know why I said Goldango. That's important and that could actually help you. But I just wanted to go a little bit bulky with max attack, Adamant Nature to hit as hard as possible with Fake Out. But yeah, I think this is a fun team. You know, I have the team code at the beginning of the video if you want to try it out for yourself. And yeah, these are all solid Pokemon. I think where I could improve the team is in these three right here. Corviknight and Gliscor feel a little bit redundant together because they're both just like super tanky Pokemon that are meant to kind of stall things out. This Corviknight set is good, but also, I don't know, the threats in the meta are just so strong and so varied that it feels so hard to prepare for everything. And as you saw in game 1, sometimes they have the perfect Terra type that you're not planning for and you just get destroyed simply because of that. So either way, that was a fun video. Ooh, a terrifying Dusclops. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. And I hope you have a good Thanksgiving. I might try to make a video on Thanksgiving or even before then, or like I'll probably record it before and post it on, but either way, I'll post more videos this week. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe for more, and I hope you have a great day.